Good morning. My name is Julia Benita Sullivan. I'm the Public Affairs Director here at Hidalgo County, and I'd like to welcome you to our second annual No Refusal Weekend News Conference. It's my pleasure to get things started today. Last year's was a huge success. Criminal District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez Jr., for being such a young DA, being here only about a year and a half, he's already distinguished himself with all of the efforts that he's put in place to guarantee the safety of our citizens. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our Criminal District Attorney, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you. Good morning. Again, I want to thank all of you for being here with us this morning and joining us in our second annual Hidalgo County No Refusal operation that's going to happen over the Labor Day weekend. Like last year's first annual No Refusal, I want to thank every municipal, county, and state law enforcement agency for their continued support and efforts in keeping our community safe. What does this mean to the citizens of Hidalgo County or anyone passing through? It means that every law enforcement agency in the county will have our very best officers working the roadways starting September 1st on Thursday to September 5th, cracking down on DWIs. I also want to thank the continued support of our Hidalgo County Commissioners Court, County Judge Ramon Garcia, Commissioner A.C. Cuellar, Eric Cantu, Joe Flores, and Mr. Joseph Palacios. During the No Refusal operation on Labor Day weekend, if you are suspected of drunk driving, you will be given a field sobriety test, including a breath test. Should you, the driver, refuse, the officer will obtain a warrant and you will be subject to a blood test. Saying no to a breath sample or a blood test will not be acceptable in Hidalgo County. That's the No Refusal policy. During last year's No Refusal operation, there were 0 fatalities in Hidalgo County. As I mentioned, last year's success was attributed to the collaboration of all our law enforcement agencies, magistrates, county health and human services department. Also, thanks to our local news media and community supporters for helping create the awareness of not drinking and driving. My fellow citizens, please recognize the great results from last year's No Refusal operation through the great efforts of so many people. So how can we make this year's No Refusal operation successful? How can we save lives this Labor Day weekend? As a community, as a citizen of this county, how can we contribute to the No Refusal campaign? How can we as lay citizens help our law enforcement officers take drunk drivers off the road? How can we prevent losing a father, mother, husband, wife, or our very own child, or a friend because a drunk driver slammed their vehicle from behind while stopped at a red light? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the different incidents that we see every day where innocent people are being killed or seriously hurt. Innocent people, bystanders who are minding their own business, trying to get to work, trying to get to their families, and we have a drunk driver who causes a death or serious injury. We can contribute by each one of us being responsible, not only to ourselves, but passing the responsibility to our family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a county with a population of approximately 1 million citizens, and the number 1 arrest in Hidalgo County, DWIs. Yes, our own family and friends driving while intoxicated on the same roadways that you, myself, your mother, father, sister, or a family member drive on every day. Every time you allow someone to get behind the wheel while intoxicated, we're allowing a loaded gun ready to go off and kill one of ours. So as a community, we need to protect each other. We need to treat each other as family and remind each other that by being responsible, we can help save lives. Again, the main purpose for the No Refusal operation is to save lives and create public awareness, to be responsible as a community and not drink and drive. Again, I want to thank you all for being here this morning. As you can see behind me, we have many great public officials and law enforcement agencies, chiefs from all over the county, officers from all over the county who will work hard during this Labor Day weekend on this no refusal operation to save lives. But again, I'm humbly asking the citizens of this county to please, let's do our job. Let's be responsible and let's help these law enforcement officers during this no refusal operation. So again, I want to thank you for your time. I'm going to pass it back to Julia. We also have some other individuals who will be addressing you today. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Another great public servant. It's my pleasure to introduce our Sheriff J.E. Eddie Guerra.
Thank you, Julia. And thank you to our news media partners for attending this press conference. And thank you to our family of law enforcement agencies for their solidarity in this message of public safety. Holiday periods continue to be one of the most dangerous times for Texas motorists and our community. Last year, during the Labor Day weekend, there were 359 alcohol-related crashes that led to 12 fatalities and 36 serious injuries throughout the state. And due to our efforts, last year, as the DA mentioned, there was 0 fatalities here on our first no refusal weekend. A quick decision to drive and drink can have long-lasting consequences. Worst yet, such a decision can cause loss of life and devastation to families. And I can tell you firsthand that I have seen the deaths caused by drinking and driving, and they were tragedies that could have been avoided. This is why there is a sense of urgency to get this message out to our community. A message that we, the law enforcement officers of Hidalgo County, will stand united in an enforcement operation to crack down on drinking and driving. Starting on Thursday, September 1st to Monday, September 5th, we will be actively searching for persons suspected of drunk driving and enforcing the DA's no refusal policy. During this period, judges will be assisting our law enforcement officers with blood draw warrants for those drivers that refuse to submit to a blood alcohol content testing. Please help us ensure that the safety of this community. Please be responsible. Do not drink and drive. It simply is not worth it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Our district attorney and sheriff's efforts on this no refusal weekend has garnered the partnership and support and collaboration of all law enforcement that serves Hidalgo County. And representing some of the law enforcement here today is Victor Rodriguez, who's the McAllen Chief of Police and also another great servant.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. District Attorney, I know the judge is here, County Commissioner is with us as well, Sheriff Guerra, to all the chiefs that are present with us today, our partners at DPS and TxDOT, and to all the police officers here and all the guests here today. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. This weekend, this holiday, we once again launch a united effort at making our community safe from drunk drivers. We begin this mission with a very public announcement, the one we're making here today. And we express our very humble appreciation to District Attorney Ricardo Rodriguez for his leadership on this countywide mission. We, with your help, and I mean this from the standpoint of the public and the press with us today, especially the press, we can make this pronouncement, and we're very clear about that today. This weekend in this county, in our cities, DWI refusal will not be an option. A person suspected of driving under the influence will not be able to deny the collection of evidence. We are prepared to secure search warrants in every case. We declare such because we value each and every person in our communities. We declare such because we value our communities. In this context, next week, many of you will ask us, how many arrests happened? How many arrests occurred? What was the result of your effort? I hope that we can come back and tell you that the number we had was 0. Because if we can demonstrate to you that this pronouncement, that this campaign, that this effort was so loudly expressed and clear that we completely deterred drunk driving, it would be a tremendous success. We don't know what the number will be. Last year we had over 117, but we had 0 fatalities. We hope that we have similar experiences this year. That would mean that the collective effort of all these agencies today, and the collective effort of all the members of the press here today, succeeded to get the message out. Drunk driving is against the law. Drunk driving is dangerous. Drunk driving can affect a person's life and a person's career. Drunk driving hurts people. Drunk driving hurts families. And drunk driving kills people. All of us know that. Therefore, let us come together as law enforcement agents, prosecutors, members of the judiciary, and members of this community. Let us join hands to make our community safe from drunk drivers. We thank you very much for joining hands with us this weekend. And let us all have a good holiday, and let us all be able to say that we look forward to one more holiday after this. So thank you, and God bless. Thank you very much.
And we'd also like to ask FAR Police Chief Ruben Viescas to come on up as well. Chief?
A very good morning to everyone, and especially a warm welcome to the families of those that have lost their lives as a result of a DWI. Thank you for being here with us, and for all the chiefs as mentioned, thank you for joining us. This is a no refusal DWI enforcement. The message, you've already heard several messages. A message can also be sent to those individuals that decide to drink and drive. Beware of individuals that make that choice to drink and drive this upcoming holiday. When you see the body of a man in uniform behind me, we all come together. We're all banded together. You all united. 26 law enforcement agencies of this county have banded together for this Labor Day weekend that will start September the 1st through the 5th for no refusal DWI enforcement. The officers from every law enforcement agency will be out in force on our public roadways, detecting, stopping, arresting drunk drivers with the intent of keeping our citizens and our roadways safe. We, as the law enforcement agencies of this county, with the coordination of our district attorney, Rick Rodriguez, have worked together. And that work has been able to assemble judges all across the county, prepared to sign search warrants for blood draws, and phlebotomists ready to assist with the blood draw. Rest assured that the blood drawn analysis results will be used in the prosecution of drunk drivers. We, as the law enforcement officers of this county, want that you, our citizens, have a wonderful and pleasant Labor Day. Our message for drunk drivers is clear. Drink and drive, you will be arrested, and we will not take no for an answer. God bless you all. Something I do want to add, and we have Anna Verley here with MAD, as you've heard about what we can do as a community. And I want to thank MAD for all throughout the year that we as law enforcement know that they're always engaging the community, always bringing messages. And many of us could not be able to place additional officers on the roadway for this DWI enforcement, if not also through a Ruby from TxDOT and the cooperation from TxDOT for the funds that they give us as law enforcement agencies throughout different waves, throughout different holidays, to be able to address drunk driving. So thank you much to both of you, from all of us in law enforcement, and may God bless you all.
And as the chief mentioned, up next is Ms. Ruby Martinez with the Texas Department of Transportation, Traffic Safety Specialist.
As celebrations are finalized to mark the last days this summer, the Texas Department of Transportation urges drivers to make a plan leading up to the Labor Day holiday, a plan for a safe and sober ride home. The 2016 National Enforcement Mobilization goes into effect across the country from August 17 to September 5th, one of the deadliest and most often committed yet preventable of crimes, drunk driving, has become a serious safety epidemic in our country based on National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, data. NHTSA also estimates that alcohol-impaired motor vehicle crashes cost more than an estimated $37 billion annually. Drinking and driving remains a big problem in Texas. Sadly, there is one alcohol-related crash in Texas approximately every 21 minutes. In the Rio Grande Valley, the number of alcohol-related crashes in 2015 totaled 613, resulting in 6 fatalities and 22 serious injuries. These people were spouses, children, and loved ones who are missed by their families. In the Rio Grande Valley during the Labor Day holiday reporting period for 2015, there were 3 alcohol-related crashes, resulting in no fatalities in the Rio Grande Valley and no serious injuries. Serious injuries or fatalities is great news, but you can never overemphasize caution. High visibility enforcement and campaigns work, it's proven. TxDOT's commitment on safety contributes to an estimate of $870,000 for local law enforcement agencies in the Rio Grande Valley to increase stepped-up enforcement throughout the year and especially during the holiday periods. During holiday seasons, these grant-funded agencies conduct high visibility enforcement. High visibility enforcement is a universal traffic safety approach designed to create deterrence and change unlawful traffic behaviors. It combines high visible law enforcement targeting a specific traffic safety issue, in this case, impaired driving visibility elements, and public awareness, with law enforcement, safety advocates, media partners, and community support. These combined efforts help to reduce the number of drunk drivers on the roads and save lives. By increasing enforcement efforts, raising public awareness through social media, media outlets, local resources, we can make a difference. TxDOT's Plan While You Can campaign has kicked off and runs through September 5th to coincide with the Labor Day and increased DWI enforcement in Texas. Visit soberrides.org, call a taxi or ride service, or just stay where you are and spend the night. It's that easy. Remember, a designated driver is not the person who has had the fewest drinks. It's the person who has not had one drink at all. With so many safe alternatives, there is no excuse to drink and drive. If you plan to drink, you must plan ahead for a safe and sober ride home. It's a plan that could save a family, even your own, from the heartbreak of losing a loved one. Thank you.
that really brings it home. The purpose of this, as so many of these police chiefs, law enforcement officials, our DA, our constables, our sheriff have emphasized time and again, is to prevent drunk driving, to prevent accidents, loss of life. And there's no more poignant way to share this than with our next speaker, Marisa Segura, who's with Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Please come on up.
Good morning. My name is Marisa Segura, and I, along with his mom, Imelda Canales, am a victim of an impaired driver. I am here to put a face on the countless number of victims of this senseless and 100% preventable crime, drunk driving. Eric Canales was my boyfriend of 5 years. He was born and raised in Edinburgh. He graduated from Edinburgh North High School and the University of Texas Pan American with a degree in biology and a minor in chemistry. Eric taught biology at Idea Public Schools, but Eric wanted more for himself. Always focused and with a plan, he returned to school and received his Bachelor's of Science in Nursing in 2015. His dream of becoming an ER nurse had now become a reality. Eric, the firstborn, the leader of his family, the one that kept everyone in line and focused on the big picture, was on his way to his ultimate goal of being a family nurse practitioner. However, it was not to be. On June 10, 2015, a driver who had been seen weaving in and out of traffic and under the influence crashed head-on into Eric. Eric died of blunt force trauma to his chest at the scene. Eric was on his way home from signing his contract to work in the ER at McAllen Medical Center. He never got to be the ER nurse he always wanted to be because someone made a bad choice that day to drive while under the influence. Today, as we gather with our law enforcement and all of the community partners to announce the launch of No Refusal, let us remember Eric. Eric the artist, a sports and fitness enthusiast, everybody's friend, and all the other innocent people who have lost their lives in impaired driving crashes. Let us stand with our law enforcement heroes who work tirelessly to keep our roadways safe and to prevent tragic drunk driving fatalities and injuries. The measure of success is not the number of drunk driving arrests, but the number of impaired driving crashes that are prevented. Thank you.
And to wrap things up, I'd like to invite our district attorney, Ricardo Rodriguez Jr. back up. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. To the Segura family, again, thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your courage. And again, our deepest condolences to you and your family. And that is why we are here today. We're here to prevent. And again, I want to thank all the law enforcement officers, public officials, every agency, all the advocates that are out there. Thank you for everything that you do. And again, we have to remember that together we can make a difference. Together we can make a difference. So please be safe this Labor Day weekend. We are here to serve you, and we are here to do the best job that we can. So again, God bless you, and thank you again for being here.